Good morning, Susie Cobden. Did you know that our world is all illusion? It sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it's not real. It's no more real than the movies we see on the television screen. Everything in the world, everything that we believe is real and solid and physical, is actually energy. And quantum science is proving that. Everything can be reduced down to atoms and then electrons and positrons and quarks and whatever you want to call it. But, when they look at a atom underneath a microscope, there's a nucleus and the energy, it's 98% energy. And even the neutron, when they look at it under a microscope, it's just energy. And, it's all infinite possibility. That energy exists all around us, including our body. Our body is no more than energy. Without our five senses, which translate the energy into our solid world, what we think is solid, we wouldn't experience anything. Think about it. If you can't see anything, you can't hear anything, you can't taste or touch anything. If you reached out to touch something and you couldn't touch it, if you couldn't sense it, then it wouldn't be there. Not to us. Our world is infinite potential, 0-point field. It's been described as by the scientists, source, God. It's energy, infinite potential energy. And it's not until our consciousness bumps up against it does it become anything. What we expect is what we see. Our observing of something makes it so. That's why in the science lab they do, double-blind tests. And even those aren't completely correct because the scientist is expecting results and his mind will actually interfere with what happens, what is recorded. They've done experiments in the science lab, both being watched by scientists and only being observed by machines. And in those examples, the electrons act completely differently. When they're being observed by the human, they act in a different way than when they're not being observed. And science knows that our mind creates what we expect to see. Now, if that's the case, and everything around us is that malleable, that changeable, that fluid, then it comes down to what we expect. Our thoughts and beliefs create our world. So if we can get out of our own way, let go of our disempowering thoughts and begin to expect what we want, and I mean totally expect. It's all right to say, yes, I want this and I expect it. But whenever we've got beliefs contrary to that contradict it, it's not going to happen. And that's why it's really important to have clarity, to know what we want without any what ifs or I can't afford it or that couldn't possibly happen. Because whenever we put any disbelief, we're actually changing what we're getting. So, it's our consciousness that is creating our world. And when you think about that our world is just a reflection of our consciousness, then it's only a matter of changing our consciousness to get a different world. Suddenly, what is real right now doesn't seem quite so important. What is important is what we are thinking right now what our energy is, how open-minded we are, and how expectant of wonderful things. Because that, in this moment right now, is what's creating our next moments. Whether it's, later today, whether it's right now in the next instant, or whether it's tomorrow or next year, our energy is always creating. So, it's very important to get happy, to start to believe that the world is supporting us, start to believe in our own self, that we are capable, that we are able, because no matter how capable we think we are, we're creating our world anyway. So if we don't have faith in ourselves, it's our lack of faith that's creating our world. It's our sadness or our anger, our bitterness, our judgment that's creating what's going to come up next for us. So it's really important to become aware of what we're thinking and what we're feeling. Start to choose to feel better. Find things to appreciate, because appreciation will open our heart and move us into those higher frequencies where we start to line up with all the things we want. So it's about, trusting ourselves, being happy, being appreciative, and looking for things that are exciting and good, and taking our focus away from things that aren't working, things that make us angry or upset, that frighten us. Because fear is a creator as well. It's a really low energy, but if you're creating out of fear, your world's not going to be beautiful. So, just a moment of thought. Have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you all another time. Bye for now.